On November the 15th of 2022, rapper Johnathan Jamall Porter, better known as Blueface, was at a chicken and waffle restaurant in Las Vegas, Nevada. He was arrested following a sting operation that, as seen on video, involved multiple undercover officers. Porter was wanted on an attempted murder warrant following a shooting outside Las Vegas's Euphoric Gentlemen's Club. It occurred in October of that year, and the target was a man named Contavious Traylor. He'd recognized Porter outside the club and, according to court documents, remarked on Blueface speaking with some females in a cheap vehicle and made an audible joke. Members of the rapper's entourage reportedly hit him and then shot at him. The attempted murder charge was dropped, and Porter admitted battery and discharging a firearm. During sentencing on October the 2nd of 2023, a strange moment was reported in court as the complaining witness raised his phone to take a selfie with Porter after he finished giving his impact statement. Porter's lawyer said, "That was a first for us in our decades of litigation advocacy." Porter was sentenced to 3 years probation with a possible 2 to 5 year prison sentence if he violated probation. At the time, he was also on probation for a 2021 assault case in California, in which he'd attacked a club bouncer in the San Fernando Valley. Porter eventually violated the terms of his California probation after he was found with drug paraphernalia, and in August of 2024, he was handed a 4-year prison sentence. Number 14. Austin Jones. By 2017, musician and YouTuber Austin Jones had amassed over 500,000 subscribers and hundreds of thousands of followers on his other social media profiles. In the late 2000s, he became popular by releasing covers of popular artists before he wrote his own music. His 2014 EP titled We'll Fall Together ended up at number 12 on the iTunes pop chart. In May of 2015, an anonymous teenage girl launched a petition to revoke his participation in an upcoming tour due to him messaging young female fans and asking them to send him videos of themselves twerking in a video titled Setting the Record Straight. Jones admitted that the messages were genuine, apologized, and adamantly maintained that there was never any nudity involved. Homeland Security investigations searched his home in Bloomingdale, Illinois, in June of 2017. That same day, agents arrested him at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. It was revealed that Jones had persuaded multiple female fans to send him explicit videos of themselves. Under a plea agreement, Jones admitted that between 2016 and 2017, while he was in his mid-20s, he talked to 6 underage girls and had enticed them to produce the clips. His tactics involved him asking them to prove they were his biggest fans, claiming it was part of a modeling opportunity or that he could help them get social media followers. In the spring of 2019, he was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison and ordered to register as an offender for life. Number 13. Darius McCrary. In the 1990s, Darius McCrary was one of the most recognizable teen actors in the world for his role as Eddie Winslow on the popular sitcom Family Matters. After the show ended in 1998, McCrary's career would fail to reach similar heights, while he also experienced a number of personal and legal troubles. Most of them stemmed from his contentious divorce from actress Tammy Brawner, which took 2 years to finalize. McCrary was arrested for failing to pay child support in 2015 and 2023, around the time of his former arrest, which took place in Michigan. Some critics couldn't help but take jabs at the actor. One user wrote, "Oh, Edo, I guess family doesn't matter." McCrary mounted a social media defense in which he compared his plight to that of civil rights leader Martin Luther King. He wrote at the time, "If they did it to Dr. King, who am I?" On October the 5th of 2025, the U.S. Border Patrol arrested McCrary near the U.S.-Mexico border in San Diego, California on an out-of-state felony warrant. He was deemed a fugitive after failing to appear in court in Oakland County, Michigan, after he was charged with 4 counts of unpaid child support. The 49-year-old chose to represent himself during a subsequent hearing, but a judge appointed a public defender. After concluding that McCrary was unable to understand and appreciate the legalities of these proceedings, he was deemed a flight risk, held without bond, and ordered to be extradited to Michigan. Number 12. Amanda Bynes. After starting out as a Nickelodeon star, actress Amanda Bynes had a promising career in the mid to late 2000s, following prominent roles in movies like She's the Man and hairspray. Her downfall was mainly a consequence of her mental health struggles and substance abuse, most notably involving cocaine, MDMA, and Adderall. In 2012, she was given 3 years probation for driving under the influence, and then the following year she was arrested after smoking marijuana in the lobby of her Manhattan building. When officers entered her home, Bynes, who was then in her late 20s, reportedly threw a bong out the window of her apartment, which was on the 36th floor, after another incident that year in which Bynes started a fire in the driveway of a stranger in Thousand Oaks, California. The young woman was hospitalized under a 72-hour mental health evaluation hold, and her parents were granted conservatorship of her affairs. In 2014, Bynes tweeted out abuse allegations against her father, which she later recanted, claiming, "The microchip in my brain made me say those things, but he's the one that ordered them to microchip me." Bynes, who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, later apologized profusely for her behavior. Her conservatorship ended in 2022, but the following year, Bynes was again placed on a psychiatric hold. In March, she flagged a car for help, fully naked, and called 911. Bynes said at the time that she was coming down from a psychotic episode. As of the summer of 2023, Bynes was receiving inpatient treatment at a mental health facility. Number 11. Denise Rutkowski. Denise Rutkowski seemed poised to become one of bodybuilding's leading athletes in the 1990s. Her blonde hair and acrobatic routines had led to her being nicknamed the Golden Panther. However, after finishing runner-up at the 1993 Miss Olympia, Rutkowski shocked the sport by announcing her retirement. She was at the time in her early 20s. Her life in the years that followed featured her dedicating time to her faith and traveling the US, spreading the word of God. After a brief return to bodybuilding in 2001, Rutkowski disappeared once more. When she re-emerged into public attention in 2012, her appearance had changed dramatically. Roughly 2 decades after the height of her fame, Rutkowski was arrested, and her mugshot revealed a sharp contrast. Her face was marked by blemishes, her messy hair formed a thinning mullet, and she had a wispy mustache and goatee. The changes in appearance were attributed to her abusing steroids, growth hormones, and other substances during her bodybuilding days. Other reports indicated that she was struggling with bipolar disorder and substance abuse while living a semi-homeless existence. Rutkowski was taken into custody again in 2013 for evading arrest. Aside from sporting short hair, her physical appearance was largely unchanged from her previous arrest. 2019 updates indicated that she was doing better and had returned to her native Fort Worth, Texas. An unnamed fan who ran Rutkowski's unofficial Facebook fan page wrote in November that she still wants nothing to do with her bodybuilding past. Number 10. Sean Combs. Rap and fashion mogul Sean P. Diddy Combs experienced a highly mediatized fall from grace, started in late 2023 and through a legal trial that extended into 2025 after he was indicted for human trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The case centered on allegations that since the 1990s he had been organizing decadent parties known as freak-offs involving escorts, baby oil, and copious amounts of drugs. Numerous individuals, men and women, accused Combs of assault, abuse, and coercion. One of the key figures in the scandal was singer Cassie Ventura, whom Combs had discovered and who'd been in a relationship with him from 2007 to 2018. She admitted that she took part in Combs' freak-offs but described them as traumatic. Ventura said that she only participated to please Combs and that she had to take drugs to disassociate. Her testimony during the Combs trial was contrasted by some messages which suggested she was a willing participant, including one from 2009 that read, "I'm always ready to freak off." She was in her early 20s at the time. The woman stated that she felt trapped by Combs, who'd amassed enormous influence and built an empire worth hundreds of millions. Combs recorded Ventura having intercourse with escorts and also repeatedly subjected her to physical and psychological abuse. One particularly damning CCTV video became a focus of the Combs scandal. It was captured in March of 2016 and showed Ventura as she left the room at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, California. The singer appeared to have rushed out as she didn't even have her shoes on. As she was waiting for the elevator, Combs came running out of their room with only a towel wrapped around his waist. He was captured on video yanking Ventura by the back of the head. Combs threw her to the ground, kicked and stomped on her before dragging her towards the room. As reported by Ventura, the beatdown occurred as she was trying to leave after a freak-off while Combs was asleep. Combs reportedly tried to bribe hotel workers for the surveillance video of him beating her. A civil lawsuit filed by Ventura in 2023 against the mogul listed that the incident, as well as others, including Combs forcing himself on her, and was settled by Combs for $20 million without an admission of guilt. In spite of the apparent enormity of the case against Combs, he was ultimately only sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in prison and a $500,000 fine in October of 2025 after he was found guilty on 2 counts of transportation for the purposes of prostitution. Number 9. Durk Devontay Banks. Chicago rapper Durk Devontay Banks, professionally known as Lil Durk, was often considered a pioneer and the most successful representative of the city's drill rap subgenre. The music was typically intertwined with street violence. Banks, a 4-time Grammy Award nominee and 1-time winner, founded a label and collective called Only the Family, or OTF. His group included prominent drill rapper and notorious street gangster Davon Daquan Bennett, aka King Von. Banks and Bennett were tied to multiple incidents of street violence, including fatal shootings. One of their feuds was with Tyquane Bowman, who performed as Quando Rondo. A 2020 altercation between Bowman's crew and Bennett resulted in a shootout that ended in the latter's death. Retaliation was, by all accounts, imminent. In 2022, a shooting aimed at Bowman ended in the death of his cousin, Savia Lil Pab Robinson. In October of 2024, 5 OTF affiliates were arrested for the hit, and Banks was arrested as the mastermind of the murder-for-hire plot. He was accused of offering money and lucrative music opportunities to anyone who would kill Bowman. Banks was taken into custody in October of 2024 and indicted for conspiracy and use of interstate facilities in a murder-for-hire plot. Updates from 2025 indicated that he remained imprisoned without bond, and prosecutors said that they wouldn't be pursuing the death penalty during his trial, expected to commence in January of 2026. Number 8. Corey Haim. Canadian actor Corey Haim rose to fame as a teen heartthrob in the 1980s with roles in movies such as Lucas, The Lost Boys, and License to Drive. His work as a child actor would lead to substance abuse, and he was reportedly already drinking beer and smoking marijuana when he was in his early teens. Haim would look back on License to Drive as a breaking point for him becoming addicted to drugs. By 2001, he'd already been to rehab over a dozen times. Haim was the best friend of fellow 1980s teen heartthrob Corey Feldman. They starred in several movies together and were known as the Two Coreys. Feldman at one point said of Haim, "He's OD'd so many times, I can't begin to tell you. Having him foaming at the mouth coming downstairs and finding him that way, and drooling and not able to speak, and me having to put charcoal down his throat so that he could breathe." Feldman would later note in his memoir that both he and Haim were abused by a number of industry figures while working as young actors. In a 2020 documentary, Feldman said actor Charlie Sheen had forced himself on Haim during the filming of Lucas when Sheen was 19 and Haim in his early teens. Haim's struggles with addiction led to the collapse of his career, bankruptcy, and other troubles. In the early 2000s, Haim attempted to support himself by selling clumps of his hair and an extracted molar on eBay. By late July of 2008, Haim had become destitute and homeless in Los Angeles. After several failed attempts at a comeback, he died of pneumonia in 2010. Number 7. Wendy and Edward Osefo. Wendy and Edward Osefo, a couple who'd appeared on The Real Housewives of Potomac, were arrested on October 10th of 2025 on over a dozen counts of insurance fraud. Prior to becoming reality TV stars, they had built impressive careers. 41-year-old Nigeria-born Wendy had 4 degrees and became the first Nigerian-American woman to earn a PhD in Public Affairs and Community Development from Rutgers University, Camden. Edward was a lawyer and entrepreneur. The case against them stemmed from a 2024 report of a burglary and break-in. The Osefos claimed that the burglary occurred while they were vacationing in Jamaica and that a number of high-value items were stolen, including Hermes, Birkin bags, and jewelry owned by Wendy. They filed claims with 2 insurers, estimating $450,000 in property loss and $2,500 in property damage. An investigation would, however, cast significant doubts on the couple's version of events. The security system didn't detect motion on the date in question. Shortly after the incident, Wendy was photographed wearing a ring she'd reported stolen. Several other items had actually been returned for a full refund prior to the alleged burglary. The authorities learned that the couple, both of whom smiled widely in their booking photos, were in severe debt at the time of filing the report. Casting further suspicion was the fact that Wendy made a Bonnie and Clyde reference on Instagram on the day of reporting the supposed theft. Between them, the Osefos faced multiple felony counts of insurance fraud and multiple misdemeanor counts of conspiracy to commit insurance fraud. Number 6. Rudy Youngblood. Actor Rudy Youngblood had his big break as Mayan warrior Jaguar Paw, the leading role in Mel Gibson's Oscar-nominated movie Apocalypto. In the years that followed, Youngblood appeared in a number of less successful productions, but his career took a turn following several arrests. Around Christmas in 2024, he was walking near a police station in Athens, Greece. Youngblood, who was under the influence of alcohol at the time, lost his balance and nearly fell on a police motorcycle. When asked by an officer if he needed help, Youngblood responded by brandishing a pocket knife. He was arrested, and it later emerged that his travel visa had expired. The incident overseas wasn't the actor's first run-in with the law, and it wouldn't be his last. In 2017, he was arrested for disorderly intoxication in Miami, but the charges were eventually dropped. Youngblood was taken into custody again on October the 15th of 2025 on a warrant from the Travis County Sheriff's Office in Texas. He was wanted for assaulting a family or household member for impeding their breathing or circulation. Youngblood was found parked near a boat ramp in Lake Belton. According to his IMDb page, he went to school and graduated in Belton before moving to Los Angeles. During the arrest, a white crystalline powder was discovered in his possession. Updates indicated that he was booked at the Bell County Jail, pending the lab results on the substance, and his bond was set at $20,000. Up to his most recent arrest, Youngblood hadn't appeared in a film since 2021. Number 5. Paul Anderson. On Boxing Day 2023, Peaky Blinders actor Paul Anderson was arrested for possessing Class A crack cocaine, as well as Class B amphetamines and 2 Class C prescription substances. He'd been caught after patrons at a pub complained of smelling fumes. It was subsequently revealed that Anderson had been smoking crack in the bathroom. He pleaded guilty to all 4 charges in January of the following year and was fined £1,345. Fans of the massively successful series argue that it was a case of art imitating life, as Anderson's Peaky Blinders character, fan favourite Arthur Shelby, often had plot lines involving drugs. Anderson's lawyer said he is often recognized and does his best to please fans of the show by slipping into character. He was recognized that Boxing Day and tried to play up for these people. Anderson allegedly failed to attend a follow-up meeting with a social worker to establish whether he was at risk of being a drug addict. A subsequent drug test in January of 2024 revealed that he had opiates and cocaine in his blood. Since the public revealed that he was struggling with drug addiction, Anderson was photographed looking frail and strung out on multiple occasions, sparking concerns. He moved out of his £1.2 million home near Hampstead Heath, and as of October of 2025, his address remained unclear. Anderson wasn't asked to reprise his role for the Peaky Blinders movie The Immortal Man, and updates indicate that he was making money on Cameo, an online platform where users purchase personalized video messages from celebrities. Number 4. Michael Richards. For his role as Cosmo Kramer in comedian Jerry Seinfeld's eponymous sitcom, actor Michael Richards became one of the most recognizable faces in the world and a 3-time Primetime Emmy Award winner. By 2006, roughly 8 years since the Seinfeld finale, Richards' projects in TV and film had flopped. Then, over the course of 2 minutes, Richards torched any hopes of reigniting his career. On November the 17th of 2006, while performing at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood, California, Richards flew into a fit of rage in response to repeated heckling and interruptions from a small group of Black and Hispanic audience members. Richards launched an unhinged racial tirade. He said to a Black audience member, "50 years ago, we'd have you upside down with a fork up your ass." He then repeatedly shouted the N-word. The outburst was so blatant that some in attendance initially believed it was an act. Audible gasps were heard when it became obvious that Richards' rage was genuine. When audience members pointed out that his words were uncalled for, Richards replied, "That's what happens when you interrupt the white man, don't you know?" TMZ shared cell phone video obtained from an audience member 3 days later. Richards appeared on David Letterman while he was interviewing Jerry Seinfeld and apologized profusely. He admitted that he flipped out stating, "I'm not a racist. That's what's so insane about this," adding that he sometimes went into character on the stage and pushed the envelope as a performer. Number 3. Armie Hammer. Leading up to early 2021, actor Armie Hammer had had a number of high-profile roles, including one in the drama Call Me By Your Name, for which he received a Golden Globe nomination. Then in January of 2021, an Instagram account named House of Effie shared screenshots of messages from Hammer describing deranged BDSM and cannibalistic fantasies. Efrosina Angelova, Hammer's ex-girlfriend, later came forward as the owner of the account, and she accused the actor of forcing himself on her. In April of 2017, Hammer wrote in his messages about abusing her on the floor at knife point, adding, "You crying and screaming, me standing over you. I felt like a god." Courtney Vucekovich then accused Hammer in page 6. She likened their relationship to dating a wannabe Hannibal Lecter, recounting that Hammer had expressed a desire to cook and eat one of her ribs with barbecue sauce. She said that he would bite her very hard, claiming that the marks were a badge of honor. Another woman, Paige Lorenz, said that Hammer branded her and purposely left her covered in bruises, and also talked about consuming her. In some of the publicly released messages, Hammer wrote, "I am 100% a cannibal. That's scary to admit," detailing that he craved blood and claiming to have eaten an animal heart raw while still warm. Although the authorities didn't find sufficient evidence to indict Hammer, the accusations had a fatal impact on his career, as he was dropped by his agency, publicist, and removed from all future projects. Number 2. Stephen Collins. In 2012, law enforcement in New York and Los Angeles began investigating actor Stephen Collins after his second wife, actress Faye Grant, reported that he may have abused young girls in those cities. Collins was best known for his role as Eric Camden, the father of 7 on the television series Seventh Heaven. In 2014, audio recordings were made public in which Collins confessed to molesting 3 girls. It remained unclear who'd leaked the recordings, but they had been secretly captured by Grant during a confidential marriage counseling session in 2012. Without the knowledge of Collins or the therapist. Collins later confirmed to People that it was his voice on the recordings and that the inappropriate conduct had occurred in 1973, 1982, and 1994. The latter abuse took place just 2 years before he was cast to play a beloved patriarch on Seventh Heaven. The actor said that he was deeply remorseful about what happened, described his actions as inexcusable, and said that he had been working to atone for it ever since. Due to the statute of limitations, Collins was never prosecuted for his crimes, but he was fired from any and all of his future projects. Reruns of Seventh Heaven were pulled off the air, and many felt that the series had been permanently tarnished. Grant and Collins separated in 2012, and their divorce was finalized in 2015 after 30 years of marriage. In 2014, Collins was also terminated from his position as National Co-Director of the Committee for Stress-Free Schools, which advocated for practicing transcendental meditation in schools. Number 1. Michael Jace. The Los Angeles Police Department received a call on the evening of May the 19th of 2014 from a man who told them, "I shot my wife." That man would later be identified as actor Michael Jace, mainly known for portraying Officer Julian Lowe on FX's hit show The Shield. When first responders arrived at the Hyde Park home, they found the actor's wife, track and field athlete April Jace, dead from gunshot wounds. Michael confessed to the shooting. He'd become angry that 40-year-old April wanted a divorce and reportedly became obsessed that she was seeing someone else, although there was no evidence to suggest she was. Michael had declared bankruptcy in March of 2011. He cited being $500,000 in debt and an annual income of about $80,000 in the form of residuals from his TV and film work. Michael shot April once in the back when she came home and then 2 more times in the legs. Both of the couple's sons had witnessed the killing, and one of them reported that Michael had told April, "If you like running, then run to heaven," before firing the second time. Deputy DA Tanaz Makayev later said April Jace was an avid runner and the actor shot her in the legs because he wanted her to feel pain. Michael was found guilty of second-degree murder in May of 2016, and he was sentenced to 40 years to life behind bars. Thanks for watching. If you had the power to turn one famous person into a total nobody overnight, who's losing their spotlight and why? Let us know in the comments section below.